What's going on, y'all, man? It's your boy K-Mo. Look, um, wrapping up day two. Actually, is this day two? Yes, day two of Investfest. And just wanted to, while it's fresh in my mind, go over some of the thoughts that I had from today's session. So, starting it off, first note I got here is you can look at others even if they're doing the same thing as you and notice their strategies and implement them for yourself. And I say that because they're one of the first speakers, I think, for the day, at least the speakers that I watched. It was, I believe his name is Anthony O'Neill. And he was speaking about the exact same strategies that I had outlined and done for myself and that I was going to put in practice to help other people. He was talking about the exact same strategy that I had. And I'm like, man, instead of feeling defeated and discouraged that somebody else was doing something that I was already doing, the way that I looked at it is, okay, wow, this is a guy who is further along than me. It's a roadmap. I can take some of his strategies, some of what he's doing that is working for him, and implement it in my own way, not copy it, but just take his strategies and implement it into what I'm doing. And I could potentially even reach out to him for mentorship or things of that nature. So I just thought that was a good note. A lot of times we talk about competition. It's really all a matter of perspective, and that's one thing that I really want to bring into focus is you get to decide what things mean. Okay? So instead of looking at it as competition, the market is oversaturated, look at it as, hey, this is someone that, hey, something is working with them. What do I see that I can apply in my own situation? So that's the first one. The next one is be in the moment. Be aware that, you are where you are. Be in the moment. Be aware that you are here now, right? You took action just to be there, wherever you are. Visualize it, take it in that wherever you are is a part of your story, and it's a part of your success story, and it's a part of your journey. So be in the moment. Next one is you get a lot of information and exposure, right? Remember to take things one at a time. And when you become unsure, find a mentor. So that kind of doubles back into what I mentioned previously, right? You're going to get a lot of information here, information overload of any kind of things. So just make sure that you take that information, but you implement things one step at a time, right? Because it's easy to be a deer in the headlights when you get all of this information and not take action. So just break it down into one small thing that you can do, okay? Yesterday I mentioned something about VIP seating, so no, you don't. Pretty much what I said is you don't need VIP experience to get the same information. But today, I will say, seeing that it's much busier today than it was the other day, I will say that the benefit of VIP is if you want to become immersive into the environment, the closer you are to the speakers, I think is the better. And then that way you can see them visually with your own eyes instead of having to look at the screens. So VIP seating allows you to do that. Okay, so just wanted to kind of say that. So yeah, VIP, you don't need VIP to get the value, but the VIP seating is clutch. All right. The next one is hard work. Hard work is a thing that popped into my mind, and to emphasize how you do one thing, or to emphasize how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So make a habit out of doing everything to the best of your ability, and it will compound much faster. Okay, so that was just a note that I had. I don't think anyone really spoke too crazy about it, but they were talking about hard work, and then that's where that thought came from. So, another note I had is, because I was speaking to a gentleman, I was speaking to a lady, and she asked about my, what I was doing, asked if I had a business, all of that, and wanted to exchange contact numbers. So she actually showed me about Instagram and how you can share. This is gonna sound a little goofy, but that you can just share the little QR code for your Instagram so that they can sign up for it. I didn't know that, so she hooked me up with that, and I was just thinking, like, You can just go up, strike up a conversation with somebody, have your QR code ready. Like, hey, this is what I do. I don't need anything from you, but if you wouldn't mind scanning my QR code and following me. Some people will say yes, some people won't. Some people may follow you just for being nice, but it could be a good way to at least get some followers, and then over time, if you put out good content, maybe they'll become more vested into what you're doing. So just something for me to think about. Like I could have just printed out a bunch of cards, QR codes, and have people sign in. Maybe maybe I get some sign-ups, maybe I won't. Maybe that'd be something I'll try next year. The next one is go off the grid and lock in during the event. Miss the phone calls, stop scrolling, lock in on the message that's meant for you. So I say this because there was times during different panels that people would be on their phone, or I noticed I'm like on Instagram and they spitting game right here. Like, what's up with that? Like I don't know. It was kind of wild for me, and maybe it wasn't. I don't know. For me, it was like, man, I'm in this. I came here to get something out of it. So get locked in. Come here and get the message that was meant for you. If you're trying to scroll or do other things and taking phone calls, you're gonna get distracted. Okay. And I think when you come to these events to get the most out of it and to make the most out of it, you gotta lock in. It's just that simple. So get off your phone. Pay attention. Another thing, don't just stare at the screen. So this is why I thought that VIP seating is pretty cool, because it gets you close enough to where you can look at the actual people. So try to find you a good seat, get there early if you need to, get you a good seat so that you can actually see the people that are talking instead of having to look at the screen, because when you look at the screen, it's still digital, right? And the way that I look at it is to make that experience more immersive is look at the people. They may be far away, but look at the people, because when you look at the people that are actually talking, not at the screen, you see them. It's not the same as like looking at a screen. It's just not. There's something spiritual or intangible about just looking at the person instead of looking at the screen. So yeah, that's a tip. And then I think the last note I have here is, this is just a note for me, an insight for myself. Hopefully you can take something away from it, but I have attending this event is confirmation that I'm on the right track. When you work in a silo, it's hard to know where you are. Events like this can provide some insight and a guidepost. If you get there and you hear a lot of things that you've already done or things that you've already completed or implemented, then it's confirmation. It's the confirmation that you might need. So like for me, a lot of where I'm going was I feel unsure if I'm going in the right direction or if I can even articulate properly where I'm trying to go. And a lot of this point for me is seeking clarity. So coming to an event like this where I hear they ask the questions, are you investing? Do you have properties? Have you started a business? The various questions. And when I'm answering yes to more questions than I thought I would have, it really lets me know that the hard work that I've been doing is paying off. So maybe I would have still been, it's not that you should be looking external validation, but it's the feedback that you may need to make additional moves or take additional action, or man, if anything, it just makes you feel good. Like, hey, I'm going in the right direction. So that's all I got. Thank you for your time and attention, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace and love. You heard?